morning everyone. Today we are here to discuss and continue the questions of the PYQ solutions which was conducted on 4th April, that is of JEE Mains. So let's come to the question. This question is on your screen, which is of match of the following, and in this question you have to calculate the magnetic moment of the different ions, right? So we know that the formula of magnetic moment, that is n plus 2, right? So for the first one, which is our ion Mn2 plus, we know that the configuration of Mn2 plus, that would be 3d5, right? And the number of unpaired electron will be also 5. Putting the value of n into the formula, we will get under root 35. So we can easily see that the Mn2 plus will be having the option number Q. Similarly, for the another ion cobalt 2 positive, we know that for the cobalt configuration is 3d7 and n value will be 7 over here, not 7 because the number of unpaired electron will be 3 over here. And upon putting the values over here, what we can see that it will be under root 15. So cobalt, that will be 15. Now before calculating for the other ions, it is better way to analyze the options before calculating for all the other ions. So we have seen that Mn2 plus is the first, that is Q, but other options are not. So all the other options are incorrect and the first option will be our correct option. Now moving ahead with our next question. This question is again match of the following type question, and in which single letter codes you have to tell for the different amino acids. So what is single letter code? Single letter code is written for the proteins. And what is different in this question, that these proteins single letter code are derived from the name only but not from the first letter. So we need to know them or the memorization is important. So for arginine, we can say arginine is R, that is the option will be S. For lysine, that is K, that option is Q. For glutamic acid, that is R. And for aspartic acid, that is P. So SQRP. SQ, not this one, Q, not this one, not this one. So option number 3 will be our correct option for this question. Now moving ahead with the next question. This question is given, what is given values over here, that A plus B gives C and the rate of the equilibrium is given over here. And the reaction is also written in the form and K equilibrium is equals to X. So we have to tell the value of X. Now first of all, we can see that from the reaction A plus B gives C and the K equilibrium value is given, that is 2.7 into 10 to the power minus 5. And for this reaction, another reaction, 1/3 moles of A upon 1/3 moles of B gives 1/3 moles of C. For this, its equivalent constant is K equivalent dash. So it is asking for the value of X. Now we know that K equilibrium dash is equals to K equilibrium 1/3 as the value is given. So upon putting the value 2.7 into 10 to the power minus 5 with respect to 1/3, we will separate and solve it. 2.7, the power of 1/3 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 5/3. Upon solving it, we will write into 10 to the power minus 2. And upon solving this, we will get 3 into 10 to the power minus 2. So our correct option will be option number 2. Now moving ahead with our next question. This question is of organic, and this is asking for a reaction where when nitrobenzene is given and different reagents are given, and they are asking what will be A and B. So they have asked for the option A. What is option number A? So let's write this reaction properly again. This is our nitrobenzene. Nitrobenzene is reacting with the reactants stannous chloride in the presence of HCl and Br2 and H2. So this leads to the bromination of the nitrobenzene. What will form here? The bromine will come at the ortho, meta and para positions. Furthermore, the third reagent is our NaNO2, which we have seen in the Sandmeyer reaction as well, and HCl, right? So this reagent will turn this compound to a diazonium salt, which will be diazotization of the compound. So the NO2 will convert into the N2 positive part, and the other bromines will also be the same. Now furthermore, what is reacting over here? C2H5OH. Now furthermore, this compound will convert into, there will be removal of the N2 gas from here, as well as this will convert to the aldehydic group, right? So this will be your A and this will be your B. So what will be your correct option? We can see that this will be option number 3rd. Now moving ahead with our next question. Now this question says, if N is the number of lone pairs of the electron in the equatorial position of the stable structure of ClF3, which of the following ions will have N unpaired electrons, right? So in this, we have to tell what is the N unpaired number of electrons. So let's see, first of all, we need to look for the structure of ClF3. And we have to find out the number of lone pairs, which will be equal to the number of unpaired electrons for the different ions. ClF3, we know that chlorine is having 7 valence pair electrons. So structure of ClF3 will be like this. And this structure is T-shaped. What we can see over here, the bond pairs are 3 in number and lone pairs are 2 in number, right? And the question is saying the lone pair also have the N unpaired electrons. So that means our unpaired electrons are also 2, right? So for in the above these ions, which are the ions which have the unpaired electrons 2? Now looking for this vanadium. So vanadium is having the configuration of D2. That means we are having the 2 electrons, right? In titanium Ti3+, this is having D1 configuration and have the 1 electron. Similarly, for the C, that is Cu2 positive, this is having D9 configuration, and again it is having 1 electron. In nickel, Ni2 positive, it is having D8 configuration and it is having 2 electrons. One more is there, that is titanium 2+. This is having our D2 configuration and has the electrons of 2. So which is having our 2 electrons? Vanadium, right? Nickel and titanium 2+. So our 3 ions having the 2 electrons. So correct option will be our option number 2. And now let's move to the next question. This is a very easy question, right, which is asking for the statements like statement 1, 2 and 3, and which is correct. So we all know that actinoid contraction is always more than lengthenoid contraction. Why so? Why? Because in the lengthenoid contraction there is poor shielding of 4f electron. Poor shielding of 4f electrons. Now statement 2 is saying Tb4 plus and Ce4 plus is oxidant. That means it is oxidizing agent. We all know that what is oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent or the oxidant, they reduces itself and they gain electron, right? So from these ions we can see that they have the stable and the half filled configuration, so they will gain electrons. So statement 2 is true. Statement 1, actinoid contraction is more than lengthenoid, yes, due to the poor shielding of 5f electrons. So there will be 5f electrons. So this is also a true statement. Now statement number 3, this is having ions called as reductant, right? So reductant, yes, they can also be called as reducing agent. What are those? They oxidize themselves. They oxidize themselves and they loses electrons. So all the 3 statements are correct, right? So I hope you have understood it well. Now moving to the next question. This is named reaction questions, and these are very important reactions. All are from the haloalkanes and haloarenes. Now, Schwarz reaction. We know that what is our Schwarz reaction? Schwarz reaction will always takes place with the fluorine, right? And Wurtz reaction we all know, right? So we can say that Wurtz reaction, which is Wurtz reaction, Rx plus 2 moles of Na, Rr plus 2 moles of NaX, right? So this will be our S. Schwarz reaction always takes part in the presence of fluorine. Fluorine containing compound, it is always there, right? So it will be P. Now Finkelstein always takes place in the presence of iodine, right? So it will be your Q. And if we take one last is left, that is R. So our correct option on the basis of this would be our option number 2, right? Now moving ahead with our next question, which is on your screen. So there are many questions which is related to the magnetic moment in this paper. Now in this question, they are asking for the spin only magnetic moment of the 2 compounds K3FeOH6 and K4FeOH6 respectively are. So we need to just calculate the magnetic moment, and we know the formula, right? So it's not that tough, it's quite easy. K3FeOH6 and another compound is K4FeOH6, right? In this compound, iron is in +3 oxidation state, while in this compound iron is in +2 oxidation state. Due to this, their configuration will be 3d5, and while in this configuration it will be 3d6. So hence, as we are calculating the magnetic moment, we need to know the number of unpaired electrons. So unpaired electrons will be, for the 3d5 we can say that n will be 5, and for this one n will be R4, right? So upon calculating, it will be √5, that √35 it will be. Now upon this it will be 24. So √35 is always 5.92 Bohr magneton, and √24 is always 4.90 Bohr magneton, right? So from the all the options which we can see over here, that is this. So which is the correct one? For this it is 59292 and 4.90 Bohr magneton.